Alrighty.
All right, while we wait for Michael to join, if anyone wants to put any questions they
How are
have in the
you?
chat that we can get asked to him. How are you, Michael?
Glad to hear.
I'm surviving. Yeah. So we will be recording this and putting it out on our YouTube and everything afterwards, so anyone who comes in late will know. So let's get started. Hi, everyone. My name is Jack. I'm your section secretary, and this is our second G16 Live of 2023. And I'll be your host for this evening. Tonight, we have a very special guest
Thank you
joining
for having
us,
me.
Michael Whitford, the Gateway Region Chief. Thank you for joining us tonight. Before we jump into any questions from followers or
Sure.
questions
So
we have
my name
prepared,
is Michael
want to tell
Whitford.
us
I'm
a
the
little about
2023
you,
Gateway
where
Region
you're from, and
Chief.
all that?
I attend the University of New Mexico. I'm actually at right now. I just got out of a scholarship dinner, hence the suit and tie get up. But I study business administration here. It's my first year post high school, but I'm classified as a junior. I'm from the Alta Hisicus Lodge here in New Mexico, home of Philmont, if you didn't know. I joined the OA in 2016, so I've been in for about 7 years now, almost exactly, down to the month, and super excited to be here with you all. So thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. So we'll start off with just what's happening in the region. So what are your goals for Region Chief or as Region Chief
Oh,
for the
good
year,
question. So I
and how
think
have
for the
those
region,
changed
there's been
since
a
you first took
lot that we
office?
have going on. Putting on a successful NLS for March Madness is what we called it when we had three in a row back to back to back was a really big part, and they were super successful. So we kind of got that part done. But we've got two more coming up this fall in Phoenix and Dallas. So we're super excited about those. I'm getting prepared for those. Also, really creating more resources for lodges and sections, especially with regard to the ad conference and things like that. We want to make some updates and some changes so we can really help our lodges and make your all's lives easier to help with the boots on the ground and really get things going. But those are my main ones. But yeah, it's been really good so far, and they've changed more and more as I've gotten more detail and gotten more input from people across the country. Just getting to have chats with anyone from section chiefs to people that just joined a couple months before has been really insightful and helpful. So I think that's been the biggest driving change in terms of my goals. But it's been one heck of a ride so far. It's been great. Oh yeah, it's gone
Yeah,
quick.
it's
It's flown
been
by.
probably a long, almost 5 months at this point, right? Yeah. Whether it be something you already
I'm
did or
excited for
something you're looking
Jamboree.
forward to, what's something
Operationally,
you're
I
most
think is going to
excited
be
about doing?
killer. I'm super excited to see the Service Corps, which has been a tradition for a while now, and to see Summit Apex, which is brand new. I've never been to a Jamboree before. I've never been to a National Jamboree or World Jamboree, so this is my first time. This last NOAC was my first NOAC too, so I know that far exceeded my expectations. It was a fantastic time, and this is going to be an even bigger platform. This is going to be like twice the size of a NOAC. It's going to be huge with scouts from all over the world, and I can't wait. So that's what I'm super hyped about. Oh yeah, would love to hear it.
Me too. I'm on Apex staff too. Let's go.
I think you can
So what
expect to
can we
see
expect from
us
the region for the rest
connecting
of the
more
year?
directly with the lodges, especially for the Gateway region. I actually just appointed a coordinator for a new position. It's brand new this year, and we're working to connect the lodge chiefs directly. The section chiefs have a really good support system. We're all together so we can chat with each other, bounce off new ideas and everything. And we really want to see that brought to the lodge level. Like having events like NCOC and that, where you just get to see what other people are doing and kind of see an outsider's view in and get to see an insider's view out, is so incredibly huge. Like just attending events like that, we've had dozens upon dozens of new ideas and things we've implemented. So we want to see that on a more um, regular basis. So we're working to bring all the lodge chiefs together so they can have those discussions. So we are in the process of making that happen, and we'll have more information on that as soon as we can. But that's going to be a huge part.
Nice. That's really cool. So I'm gonna jump to one question that came up in in the chat, which is, do you know when the 2024
To be honest, I'm not
NOAC
sure when
fee
the
is
thing
going
will
to
be
be announced?
announced. I don't know if that off the top of my head, but it's in the works. It's not finalized yet, but I can tell you that things are looking very good. It's going to be very exciting. So as soon as that reveal is out, I can't wait for you all to see it. It's going to be great.
Nice. So with getting involved, how can airmen get involved in the order, get involved at either regional or
So
national
my best
level, or even just
advice
their local
is
chapter
to
or lodge?
start
What's your best
small
advice for
in the
that?
beginning in terms of a position. My first position was actually 2 years after I joined. I can't believe I waited that long. My advisor and one of my best friends now, he actually goes to UNM, who I've known this family since I was like 7. We're like, hey, be a chapter vice chief or join a lodge committee. Like, it's not a ton of commitment. It's a great way to see what's happening. And I waited 2 years to do it, and I can't believe I did. I really like. I've met people in my chapter that joined a committee and became lodge or a chapter vice chief immediately after they joined, as soon as they could. And just to get to know the people and to see the inner workings of the chapter and the lodge is huge. Super helpful, and it's an amazing time. And there's nothing to lose,
Mm-hmm.
especially with like a committee. If you don't like what you are doing, like if you start with, let's say you join like a social media committee, you are promoting and things like that. If you find that that isn't your thing, you can hop to something else. And it's really just a fast track way to get to know some of the big players in the OA, some of the people that have been around for a long time, really quickly and make those friends. But for the region and national level, it's just attending those events. Go to Jamboree, come join us for Operation Arrow. Even if you aren't going with Operation Arrow, but you're going with your contingent, we are going to have some Order of the Arrow specific activities, so come and see us out for that. Next year, we want to see you at NOAC. It's such an incredible time. Do the OA High Adventures. That is so many people's favorite thing that they've ever done in the OA, because you get to meet a crew of about a dozen people from all across the country, even beyond our region, which is really cool. And I've done it, and I know my group chat from 2 years ago still keeps in touch with each other. We reach out and we see each other when we go to these other events. I got to meet up with some of them at NOAC. So it's really just a great way to get involved. And even in that in-between level, my one of my biggest regrets in the OA was I didn't go to a section conclave before COVID. And I had been in since 2016. I was like, oh, section is this big thing. And I don't know, like it was above me. And I guess I didn't understand what it was. I didn't realize it was just a great time to come together with airmen from your lodge and from these other lodges. You get to go there with your friends you made. If you haven't made all those friends, you get to meet more people. And that's one of my biggest regrets. So do not miss out on your conclave is one of my biggest pieces of advice, because that's really kind of your first step above your lodge. So it's a great way to meet all those people. So that's my advice, all in a nutshell. Just get out there and go do it. Even if you don't know the people, you're going to meet people that are going to become some of your closest friends.
Very, very, very true. I didn't join chapter in probably
Yeah,
3 years
no,
into my
don't be
OA
like
career
me in
too.
that
I
regard.
was the exact same
Just
way.
do it. Go for it. There's nobody stopping you, and everybody's going to be so excited to see you take that first step.
Exactly. So we're gonna jump to a little bit more less serious question, which we've asked on every live so far. But that is pineapple
Yes,
acceptable on pizza?
pineapple is acceptable on pizza. If you have a tomato sauce, which is fruit based, why should you not be allowed to add another fruit?
That's a great description of it. So one question that we got from one of our Instagram stories previously was they have someone has some friends that they're hesitant to go to
I think it's
conclave.
just to go there
What's a
with,
really good way to
hey,
convince
I'm
them
going, you're going
to
to have a
attend?
great time with me. I know for me, kind of the first selling factor was when I got to meet some closer friends. That was what really drove me to these events. It was that even if I didn't know what the activities were, I knew that there were going to be these cool people, even if I wasn't super close with them just yet. But also just hyping up the fun things that you know. If you've been to a conclave, you can kind of mention some of your favorite things that you did there. And if you've never been to one, you can mention the things that you're really excited about, because you can really share in that excitement with those other people. But yeah, definitely just with you. Just say, hey, I'm signed up. Come sign up with me. You've got nothing to lose.
Yeah. Yeah. So does anyone have any questions in the chat so far? Write them down while I'm writing while I'm asking another question. So, where do you see our organization 5 years from now?
5 years from now, I think I see us bigger than ever than we have been for the last several years. I think we're going to have officers and airmen that are a lot more confident in what they are. We're going to have a really newfound identity. I think, especially now, we have a lot of officers that kind of came out of that COVID era, which is great. They've come in with a clean slate, so they can really make the change that they wanted to see. We had a little bit of a chance to break some of the ways that we had done before that we maybe could have improved on. But I think we'll really have people that are even more excited to be part of this organization and more pride in being here because they've really developed their roots here. They've made some of their best friends here. They've been going to events for years, and each event just keeps getting better and better and better. So I just all across the board, from the lodges to the sections, the chapters, all across, I see the people becoming more and more comfortable and closer with each other.
Yeah. So one of the sections in the region,
My hair and beard
section
routine,
G9 asks, what's your hair and
very
beard
basic.
routine?
Trim every few days, shave the neck about every other day. I don't even use any hair products, so comb your hair after you shower. There's your region chief advice. Keep it simple.
Yeah. So we've always said in Tracy we trust, but have you ever had? I heard that you had to use that.
Yes.
link
Can you hear me
once.
well? Sorry,
So
there's
can you
a
tell us
plane
that
going
experience?
across. Okay. So actually, on the way to the national planning meeting this past December, it was my birthday. I was on my way there. I got to the airport at like 3:30 in the morning, and my plane arrived on time. Broke it. I had like a massive oil leak, so that plane was completely out of service. They're like, this plane cannot take off for everybody's safety. They were going to try to get like a flight crew in to fix it. Everybody was frantically getting booked onto other flights that were heading out to Dallas that same day. But I called up Tracy, and between 3 different trips to and from the airport, from 3:30 in the morning to I'm wanting to say about 4 in the afternoon. After trying 3 different times, getting on standby, getting a different ticket, I finally made it on a flight and I made it to the national planning meeting um, right as the program was starting. And there's no way I could have pulled it off without Tracy. She's got some kind of fairy power there in terms of working your travel plan. She's amazing at what she does, and she got me there. So I will never forget that. Oh, good question. Yeah. So Tracy
Yeah.
Atherton
And
is
some people
the
don't know
Gateway
who
Region
Tracy is. Do you
Chair.
want to explain who Tracy is?
She's not exactly an advisor. She has some more influence there. She's been involved in the region since its beginning and has been involved at the national level since before Gateway and Eastern existed. So she helps us to coordinate all of our region events. She helps to put on all the NLS, the National Leadership Seminars, and everything like that. She's really just a catch-all for anything the region does. If I'm involved, she's involved, and we work really well together. So she's amazing. If you get the chance to meet her at any event, definitely take the time. She's amazing.
Yeah. All right. The classic question: what's your favorite scouting memory or experience? I know you said you haven't been to an NLS, or I know you haven't been to you didn't go to an
Yeah.
NLS as staff, or a Jambo, or
Oh,
NOAC
before
before
all
the
that.
last
Okay.
2 or 3 years. So what was your
Ooh,
favorite
that's a
memory
tough one.
before all that?
The first one that came to mind was the high adventure. I did the OA Summit experience 2 summers ago. So that was my first step into the high adventure program. That was a ton of fun. I met about a dozen people. We had friends from St. Louis. I actually still talk with one of my friends from Orlando occasionally. So that was a really big, impactful one. But on the more local level, I think the friends that I've made at the chapter level have been huge. Like I said, I was super quiet. I was a kid that would just show up and sit in the back of the room. I was super excited to be there, but I was dead silent. And then one of my friends got up, Colin Howard, if any of you know him, got up and just was like, hey, why don't you come hang out with us? It was really, it was just, that was kind of one of the turning moments in my life. I made a lot of new friends that I'd never met before, who were a few years older than me, which seemed like dog years back then. And now I'm still close to some of these people. I attend college with Colin, and I'm actually going to one of our friends' wedding reception this weekend. So really cool for full circle. Just, it's not one specific moment of a memory. It's just the fact that I got to know these amazing people in this organization, and I've kept up with them all these years. Hi, Zach.
Yeah. Zach saying hi, just so you know. But with such a big region that you're in charge of pretty much, and all the events you're going to, what's your typical week by week schedule looking like? School,
Good question.
family,
So there's a lot.
friends,
No 2 weeks
scouting.
are alike, but they all kind of have the same type of structure. I'm out of town almost every weekend, whether I'm at a lodge event or whether I've been at an LS or another section's conclave, which has been a lot of fun. That's usually my Friday through Sunday. I'm out there doing those events, having a ton of fun. When I get back Sunday night, it's usually hitting all the homework that is due that night. I work on it ahead of time, but finishing up those last minute things. I have class on Mondays and Wednesdays, so I'm usually at school on campus all day that day, taking care of my classwork and working on homework. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I actually just started an internship this last month, so I work most of the day on those, which has been a lot to get acclimated to. It's been a big learning experience because it's stuff I've never done before in finance, but that's been really exciting and been really been a big part of this year. And then I still attend my chapter meetings when I can, and I'm still a part of a venturing crew, so I still do activities with them. We actually went to Top Golf not last night, but the night before, so we get to do a lot of things like that. So there's a lot of random meetings here and there that take up most of the evenings and the weekdays. And when I'm not doing that, I'm on a call with Zach or Matt or Grant. We're all putting together what's next for the region and the nation, and getting everything together. But yeah, very, very busy all the time, but it's great. I love what I do.
Yeah. What's been the most funny moment that you've had as Region Chief? It's been 5 months. There's got to be some good moments in there.
Oh man, there's so many. I think any time that I've been with the other national officers, it's been a ton of fun. We kind of flame each other for different things. Anytime we have an embarrassing photo of each other, we happily share that with each other. And the same thing with the section chiefs, and anybody I've been with. We all like to tease each other kindly, and have a lot of fun. I'm trying to think of one specific moment, but I don't know. I've never been disappointed by hanging out with people and just getting to know people on a closer level this year. You kind of get to hear about sometimes when things didn't go according to plan, but you had no idea. So it's always funny to kind of hear the behind the scenes of everything that happens. And when things didn't go according to plan, it can be really hilarious. But things have always worked out well in the end. But I mean, there's so many times I've cried laughing this year. It's been great. And that's what they're always all about.
Yeah. So you've been Region Chief for 5 months. Is it what you thought it was going to be? Were you kind of prepared for it? Did you just kind of get thrown in the thick of it and just kind of
yes to all of that.
had to go with it?
It's a lot. It's what I expected in terms of a lot of the different duties, but especially like hosting the LS was a brand new experience for me. But it was great. We had a pretty new staff in terms of most of our people hadn't been on staff the previous year, at least for our first few courses. So it was a really great experience to get to be with all of them and take this new adventure hand in hand with each other. So that was a really good thing. But obviously it was new for me, so it was a lot to navigate. I think something that I wasn't as used to before is at like the chapter and the lodge level and the section level, you have like a vice chief and a secretary. You have that more direct support of those people that you contact, versus here it's up to you. And you're not alone. We have our coordinators. Like I said, the 4 national officers definitely work together on a ton of projects. But it's been very different in terms of the support system. There's so many people out there that are willing and happy to help, but it's kind of just getting your people together and forming that force together. So it's been a very unique experience. It's been unlike anything I've ever experienced before. I've never been out of town so much in my life. I was used to being out of town most of the time with lodge and stuff before and other extracurriculars I had, but it's a whole new level this year. Doing things like this is amazing. So yeah, a lot of what I expected, but also so many things that I didn't know what happened, but I'm loving nonetheless.
Yeah. So I'm gonna ask a question that Connor asked. If anyone has any final questions before we finish up, go ahead and put them in the chat. We'll get them asked. But Connor asked, do you have any like little spoilers
I
you can
don't
give us
have
for some of
any
the
real
events?
spoilers. I can just tell you that it's going to be a great time to be with over 1,000 scouts at one time, which is so incredible. It's life-changing to be with so many people at one place, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So Can't wait to see you there, whether you're on Summit Apex staff or whether you are coming with your contingent. We can't wait to see you there. It's going to be a ton of fun. My favorite national officer this year, I'm going to have to go with not Zach Rinvalski. Man kind of bugs me a little bit. That's a tough question. All honesty, we all get along so well. It's like parents try to pick their favorite child. All three of the officers, all three of the other officers are incredible. So I can't pick a favorite. But just because you asked, I'm going to have to say not Zach.
Mm-hmm. I like it. I like the answer.
We have had the Gateway Region patches available at the region events. So so far it's been the NLSs. So we had one in St. Louis, one in Minneapolis, St. Paul, and one in Boise. So if you attend those events, you should be able to find them. And I think we're going to try to have them out at Jambo, I believe. We're still working on some of those because they've been super excited about those patches and they've gone very quickly. So we are still working on getting those back in stock. But we will definitely, we'll announce this week and make sure that anybody that wants them can get their hands on them. Oh, yeah.
Good. Yeah, I need some more. So thank you for joining us tonight. It's been a great 20 minutes, 25 minutes, just speaking with you about your story and how being Region Chief has been for you. Before our big announcement tonight, what message do you
get
want
involved?
To everyone
you have
watching?
Nothing to lose, whether you're super introverted or whether you're super extroverted, whether you have dozens of friends already that you know that join the OA with you, whether you are on the younger end, whether you don't know anybody. There's going to be so many people that are excited to have you. Even if you don't know it yet, just take that first step. Go to that other event. Go sign up for that committee that you are interested in, even if you don't know anybody on it. It's going to be a great experience, and you're going to really appreciate it years now down the line when you're so close with those friends.
Yeah. So final question of the night. For those in Section G16, our conclave is September 8th through the 10th.
I'm going to be
so Michael, where will you
that
be
80s conclave
September 8th to the 10th?
With Section G16. I'm going to be there with all. I'm super excited and looking forward to it. I know it's back in September, but it's going to be here sooner than we know, and I can't wait to meet all of you there. It's going to be an incredible time, and I can't wait to meet each of you when you're there.
Yeah. So any final questions before we end for the night?
Yeah. It's
all
great.
Right. Well, Michael, thank you for joining us.
Is.
Hope the weather's good for you. It looks nice and clear. All right. Have a good night. Thank you, everyone, for coming.
See you all to conclave in September.
And have a great rest of your evening.